Good day, everybody, and welcome to Soul Talk and Meet the Author. This is a very special series for me because it's all having wonderful soul conversations with my gorgeous co-authors in the up-and-coming book Voices of Hope, being launched November the 23rd at the most beautiful surroundings at De Vere Beaumont Hotel in Windsor. So we definitely have regal connections, and all of these ladies deserve to feel like a queen, a princess, whatever word they want to use that day, even an empress, on their very special day. So we're kicking off this series with a beautiful, beautiful soul, Jane Scanlan, who is the spiritual guide and life coach. I want to get this right. So cherish, transform, and upgrade your life. So welcome, Jane.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on, and obviously I'm very excited to be a co-author on the book Voices of Hope.
Wonderful. So let's get down to this little soul talk right now, and let's find a few things out about who you are, what makes you tick, and what your vision for your future is. So before you wrote the chapter in the book, how did you feel about your story and finding that courage to voice your story?
Well, I suppose I'd already started to voice my story and start to tell it to people. It was snippets at first, and then the opportunity to be in your book arose, as these wonderful opportunities do when you are open to them. And I was able to then tell my full story and really go into depths to help other women who have been through similar situations to me, and to know that there always is a happy ending should you so wish to learn the lessons of the past and go forward with open eyes and an open heart.
Yes, I mean, it's certainly in this little soul talk here. We don't want to give people too much about your story, because we want them to get the book and it's over their shoulder and read your story in its fullness and in its rawness. And I've got to say, I feel very privileged and humbled at you sharing your story with me, because it is raw, it's real, and it's the guts and the core truth of who you are and how, as you said, use those lessons. So why did you say yes to being a co-author in the book?
Well, like I said, I really want to help more women, because I feel not just women, but women and men in the current climate. I see a lot of people holding on to old stories, saying, you know, I'm a single mum, I'm always single, I'm never successful, and they're holding on to that, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it just continues and continues. So by saying yes to this book, Voices of Hope, I felt that it would give me a really good platform to talk to more women who, you know, are going to sit with a cup of tea or coffee and are going to read these stories, and they could potentially change their lives just by reading this book, reading my story, reading some of the other co-authors' stories. And that's why I said, yes, I really, really want to be in this book.
That's right. And, you know, the power of story is phenomenal. And, you know, so I'm beating that drum, because there's many people still want to hold on to the story for shame, guilt, all of those reasons. You know, we've all been there before. We've shared our story and found that courage, you know, because it's, you know, we don't want to be judged. It's those human elements of us that actually don't serve us that we hold on to, rather than what's possible when we let go. So in Voices of Hope, my focus is all women in business, because for me it's important to know and use the power of your story and how you can weave it into your business. So just share with us, what is your business about? So what are you doing to make a difference in the lives of other people?
So I help women, and most of them are small business owners or just big business owners, I hope, we are creating. And I help them to cherish themselves, to transform their lives, not just focusing on one thing like business or home life. We look at the 7 key areas of life. And then to upgrade, because often we, as women especially, we put people, children, family, colleagues in front of us, and the upgrade part, it is about, you know, you every couple of years you get a new phone. Every couple of years, you know, you'll upgrade your laptop, you'll do all of this technology, you'll update your kids' technology. But what about your heart? What about your dreams? And your standards as well. So that is really what I teach my members, and I do it in a very simple, easy, effective way, because life is far too complicated. You don't need to go and get a coach that makes it complicated as well, do
No,
you?
no, absolutely. And, you know, I'm sitting here with knowledge of you, but definitely upgrading your life is something close to your heart, because
Yeah.
after all, you upgraded your own.
Yes, I did, definitely.
So that who best teach than someone who's got their story, got their struggle, got their darkness, to find that way through, to break that glass ceiling, whatever little analogy you use to know that you're upgrading, quantum leaping, whatever you want to call it, and that gives you such a power to do so, and actually puts you in that expert status. So tell me, we've got the story, the book's bubbling along nicely. So what will it mean to you and your business to be a published author?
Well, well, I'm really excited for it. I have always wanted to be an author, so being a published author for me is it's going to open up more doors, more speaking doors. I definitely want to get on the, you know, doing more events where I am up talking to groups of ladies, helping them to cherish, transform, and upgrade their lives. More radio interviews. I have on my vision board a TED talk that is bubbling through my being at the moment. So that is what I'm envisaging for the future.
I mean, and all of these are possible because, you know, you do spiritual guidance as well. So we know that all comes down to aligning ourselves and um, putting us in that best possible place to manifest all of these things, and having them part of your vision and having the intention, but it's taking the action that will create
Yeah.
that for you. It's not about, oh, universe, I want to be a TED speaker, and then just sit and do nothing.
Don't do
That's not
anything.
how that's not how it works, is it, Jane? We know that, you
No,
know.
no. We
And
have to take inspired action. You
absolutely,
know, you've got to be in the right place, get your mind and your mindset sorted. But whilst you're doing that, you still have to keep stepping in, and taking
absolutely.
action.
Stepping out of the comfort zone and stepping into who
The
you
future
become.
zone.
I say,
Yeah, yeah.
so my phrase, I used to use inspired action, but my phrase today is aligned action. So it's,
Like
you
it.
you talked about the 7 areas. For me, with all my experience, it's about a holistic approach, not one thing. It's never one
Yes,
thing. Never one thing. You have to look at the whole person. And I
definitely.
think that's missing in our industry. People just look at little bits. So let's just fix this. No, 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 no. Let's see the whole picture, because after all, you're one body, you're a whole person. So let's, you know, for me, that's vital.
Yeah.
And so I say, we've touched on this a little bit. So I talk about stories being a hit, the heal, they inspire and they transform not only the person releasing the story, but for the reader. And also, like you said, it's about authors want to be on stage and tell that story and how it's transformed them. And it's not the story itself that is what resonates with people, because people want to know, so what that that's happened to you? What did you do about it?
Yeah.
What did you do about it? What makes you different from me, that I'm still stuck in my space, but you've managed to get yourself out? So, the story, the way we've shaped the stories in Voice of Hope is, yes, we talk a bit about the darkness, but what did you do? What traits came out? Who did you have to become and recognize? And where has it led you to? So, with that in mind, what are the traits that you've learned about yourself through that transformational journey of your hit story, and how is it impacting on the vision for your business?
Okay, well, yes, my transformation has definitely created the business I have today. The 7 steps that I promote and I teach people, I try and keep everything within 7 steps, because that's really simple and effective, and it doesn't overload the mind. What I found really with retelling my story and living it is that you can use everything as an excuse, and you can blame a lot of people for everything, the whole of your life. You can blame someone for but that doesn't get you anywhere. That just keeps you in that story. So by using the things that have happened to you as a reason to have a better life, be a better person, love yourself more, you know, start that business you've been dreaming about, it can be an excuse or it can be a reason. And I started to step out of the excuses and out of the blame game and into taking responsibility for everything, even the really horrible things that have happened in my life, taking responsibility for them, forgiving them, forgiving myself, and releasing that shame and that guilt, and being able to step forward and use those lessons now, not just bad things, they turn into lessons, using those to step out of the comfort zone and step into your dream life, because we were put on this planet. You're here for a reason, and you're not here, the reason is definitely not shame, guilt,
No.
excuses, blaming. That's not the reason you're here. The reason is you're here to do something wonderful and share your story and enlighten your own life, but also shine light on everybody around you as well.
Yeah, and I can see you've got your twinkly lights behind. I love that. It's like the little diamonds, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, it's I'd be at home just sitting there myself. So if you could put it into 3 words, what are 3 traits of what are 3 traits that's allowing you to be who you are today, that you found on that journey from the depth of the darkness that you were in?
3 words, 3 traits. Courage and courage and responsibility. So actually taking responsibility for myself, my own actions. Yeah. And hope, having hope for the future, hope for the world, hope for, just having that positivity to be able to transform.
Mm-hmm. So we're almost done now, Jane, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it is about the insight. So it's about always going inward to find those answers, because all the answers we need are within us.
Yes.
Always. We just get blinded by everything else, and
and the ego,
limiting beliefs and all of these things that we grew up with. So let's get to November the 23rd. What are you looking forward to most of all about the book launch?
I am looking forward to more interviews leading up to it. I'm looking forward to seeing lots of faces in the audience. I'm looking forward to being up on stage. And I'm looking forward to just the general vibe of it, and just having 30 women sharing their stories and becoming published authors, some for the first time, like myself, and others for second, third, whatever time. I'm just really excited to be in the vibe of it all.
And absolutely, and becoming an author is a huge thing, and it's definitely on the bucket list of many people, so you can start to tick that off. But it will just be the start, because I don't know about you, I never set out to be an author or a writer, and now I am just prolific about so many books waiting to be to come out of me. So there we go.
Yes.
So it is wonderful. So what would you say to other women who might be thinking about becoming an author and maybe starting somewhere like in an anthology with other women?
I would say that if you would like to be an author and you're a bit scared to step into your own full book as the first step, then this is an ideal route. You get to be part of a team. It could be 10 people, it could be 20, 30, like it is in this book. So you get to walk with other people on this journey, and you get to learn together. And working with you, Deborah, with Brenda, we've got
It's usually Barbara I get called.
Barbara. Oh dearie me.
This is why it's soul talk. You see, we come to the soul. And we get carried up. You know what it's like. We've been getting carried away so much.
We have the last 4 or 5 days. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah, to have your support and to be able to be walked through the process. I don't think you get that when you're on your own. And I would like, for me, that's what has put me off for a long time of writing my own book. I've definitely got them within me, and then doing this process with you, I'm like, okay, so these are the things that I am required to do to be an author and to get out there. So it's definitely opened my eyes to the reality of what you've got to do. And you've got to do quite.
That's right. And as an author, it's not just the words on the page, but if you speak to any other author out there in the world, they will tell you, once you've got that book, it's what you do next. Because there's no point in having a book sitting somewhere and nobody reading it. So the work will begin, and the launch is the best way to do that, and make it big and make it bold and be brave and be beautiful. All those words that I love. And Jane, I just love you, and thank you for saying yes to being one of the co-authors in Voices of Hope. I wish you every success in your business. I'm tingling all over right now, because you are just a beautiful soul, and you are allowing the lessons of your story to define who you are, and not the story itself. And you definitely have come from the victim, and you're the victor, and now you're out there championing the triumph of your darkness. So thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.